method. All right. So I'll be giving you an introduction to hardware description language. This is basically an orientation of the subject. This course will give the student the opportunity for you to design and implement hands-on digital circuits and systems that includes both combinational and sequential logic circuits. So I guess you're already familiar with the two types of statements or circuitry, which is one of which is the combinational, in which the output solely depends on the combination of the inputs. And for the sequential naman, of course, this time we already consider the clock, the latches, the flip-flops. So we are concerned on the memory added elements kapag sequential na po yung atin pong in-implement na circuitry. This course will also provide the students an introduction to real-world design methodology and practice as well as design issues that need to be addressed. Yan. So, very technical yung ating course na magde-design talaga tayo ng circuit. At lagi ko tong sinasabi sa mga estudyante ko as computer engineers kasi core talaga natin yung HDL. Kasi HDL is applicable both to our skills in programming or the software side and on the hardware circuitry. Kasi nga, magko-code tayo and then our code is able to generate the circuit automatically. So these are the core objectives. Number one, it will give the student first-hand experience in designing and implementing digital systems. Kaya nga yung pangalan ng course natin, Introduction to HDL. So hindi pa talaga tayo familiar with HDL. I'm sure familiar tayo with the three common type of or types of programming languages katulad ng low level, middle level, high level programming language. Pero this HDL is a different type of language. Yan. Pangalawa, be familiar with the use of EDA tools in the design process. Marami po tayong mga electronic design automation tools na pwedeng gamitin. Di ba, meron tayong subject na computer engineering, drafting, and design. For sure, naging familiar tayo with the EDA tools. Pero this time, related dapat doon sa Verilog or VHDL, yung gagamitin natin na EDA tool. In your case, ang gagamitin natin ay Xilinx ISC kasi gusto ko nakikita natin yung circuit. Kahit na medyo mabigat siya install. Pero pwede kang gumamit ng mga um, available compiler online. Meron po yan. Nagsisynthesize lang siya. Like yung EasyEDA. Ayan. And then pwede na tayong gumamit ng Model Sim, ng Quartus 2, very later. Marami pong available actually na mga EDA tools that you can use to simulate Verilog or VHDL. Pero yung prefer ko nga for the sake na makita natin yung circuitry is Xilinx ISE. And then you'll be designing and constructing digital systems including combinational and sequential logic circuits. So yung mga machine experiments po natin, manonotice po ninyo, mag-start muna tayo sa basic logic gates and then pupunta po tayo doon sa sequential logic circuits. And then maging familiar po tayo with the use of different types of logic semiconductors and various issues with digital system design. Like yung importance ng optimization, di ba? Di naman po dapat lang na nagko-code tayo pero we have to consider as well the trade-offs. Like, ano ba yung concern natin to speed up the simulation or to reduce the cost in production of the ICs. And then of course, we'll be promoting cooperation, teamwork, and creative thinking. As I have said, for the machine experiments, we'll be working by pair. But for your project, of course, you'll be working trio siguro or four members in a group. These are the course content. For now, I'm giving you a short introduction about the course and I'm discussing the requirements. And then along with that, we'll be familiarizing with the edit tools and design documentation. Later, we'll be performing our experiments so you can see there the environment of the tool that we're gonna use. And then some of the experiments that will be performing are related to decoders, multiplexers, code converters, structural modeling, how to model the simple arithmetic circuits or the ALU, and then modeling as well the sequential circuit. So madami po yon, mga repeated addition, repeated subtraction, multiplexer, demultiplexer, and so on. And then we'll also proceed with state machines. Yan, use of the finite state machine, the Mealy, the Moore machine, and then the arithmetic operation first part and second part that relates to complex sequential operation, and of course, you'll be proposing your final project. In our case, our teaching method and strategy will do some lectures, class discussions online, and I'll be sharing you video tutorial as well related to the machine experiment that we're about to perform. And then, as you know, if you have some concerns, of course, I can guide you naman as needed. Then, prepare po tayo ng IEEE paper for your final project. And you're gonna demonstrate to me your source code and you have to present to me your final project as well. And we'll be having practical assessment. So these are just the course requirements: machine experiment, practical exam, final project that makes use of the IEEE paper. So again, what does it take to pass the subject? Siyempre, kailangan nating pumasok kung tayo po merong online class, and then you have to submit the laboratory report. Diba? You can also participate by asking questions and helping other students. And then, since online po tayo, so I appreciate na dapat nag-aaral tayo, very resourceful po tayo. Nagbabasa tayo ng different resources ng mga jargons related to our course. So, students who make a sincere effort to follow the guidelines and policies of the course should have no problem passing each grading period, di ba? As you know, in the classroom, ako yung in authority, and you're expected to behave as responsibly and reliably in the classroom as you're ought to do. Ito po ay demonstrated by your completion of all the requirements in a timely manner, and your grade will simply be a reflection of the effort you expended for this course. Every student will be expected to practice professional student behavior that includes discipline, attendance, and even interaction with other school personnel. So I'll be the one to provide the laboratory manual for introduction to HDL. Ako po yung nagawa noon. And I'll be sharing that as well in our classwork. So welcome to Introduction to HDL. Let's have a great semester.